Good morning, nieces and nephews. It's your Uncle Charles here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel where we do unbiased price action analysis. Guys, I think I'm having a case of the Mondays. All right. Plus, Thanksgiving is later this week. I don't know. Uncle's just feeling my energy is a little lower than usual. So if you guys can help your dear old uncle out, I am getting old. If you guys can just comment below, bah, to help me amp up, to help me get my energy back, I'll appreciate it. All my fellow sheep sound off. Say bah in the comment section for Uncle, okay? Help me get through this Monday, get my energy up, all right? Before we talk about the SPY, how are we feeling about Tesla, y'all? How are we feeling about Tesla? We talked about Tesla a little bit. We talked about how I'm watching for a potential explosive move either on a Thursday or Friday. I got very nervous because Thursday was very choppy. But thank heavens for Friday. We had a very nice explosive move. I wrote in my Discord. I have this for Tesla's coverage. I have 342 and 344 as resistance. If they clear, 346 and 348 or higher will be in play. We were only going to look to short below 340 and 338. You guys can see the market did not break down 340 or 338. I had them down here. The market just exploded, clearing resistant levels after resistant levels. What a beautiful move. We're going to talk about Tesla later. I hope you guys was able to catch that move, though. It was amazing. However, we're going to talk about SPY. Now, if you guys recall, my last thumbnail, I wrote about the Hanging Man candle because we needed to talk about the Hanging Man candle. And together in the video, we went over what is a Hanging Man candle, how can it show follow through, how it can be invalidated. And if you guys recall, to show that the Hanging Man candle was going to be bearish and lead to more downside, we needed some support levels to fail. But the main support level that needed to fail was the low of the Hanging Man's candle, which was around 587.5. As you guys can see, that did not happen. We also talked about what would invalidate the bearishness of the Hanging Man candle. Because when you look at stuff like this, it's good to know the invalidation level so that in case you're playing a bearish setup, you know when to cut loss. Or if you're looking for a bullish setup, you'll know when to enter. And I mentioned that, and according to the little article that we read online together, to invalidate the Hanging Man candle, the highs need to be taken out. And I mentioned if 595 clears, that would invalidate the Hanging Man candle. As you guys can see what happened on Friday, SPY closed around 595.5. This purple line right here, I'll change it to yellow. That's my 59. Oh, that's a fib level. Oh, crap. I'll leave it as purple. But yeah, that 595 level was a fib level. And it also happened to be around the high of the Hanging Man candle. So 2 reasons to watch that level. We cleared it on Friday. And now we are gapping up here. Okay? This is the power of price action analysis. Now, usually I show you guys how to trade using the levels on the 15-minute chart. But I also mentioned to you guys, if you're swing trading, because I don't really swing trade, but if you are swing trading, you want to use the same principle that I teach you guys on the 15-minute chart, but you just apply it to the bigger time frame, the daily chart, the weekly chart. You can see on the daily chart, we cleared 595, took out the high of the Hanging Man candle, invalidated its bearishness. Now we're gapping up. No crystal balls here, guys. We're just looking to react. Same thing with Tesla. I did not predicted this. Okay, I know I mentioned either Thursday or Friday we're gonna get a move, or I was expecting a move, but that's not a prediction. It was just based on the setup, the chart, the double inside candle setup. That's not really a prediction, y'all. That's just going by the charts and reading the price action or the happy stuff. And I want you guys to be able to do the same. And when you get so good at it, some people might think, hey, he's predicting, but it's not predicting. It's just reading the charts. That's all it is. But anyways, so here we are on the daily chart. SPY is at 598.5 as of recording this video, trying to flirt with new all-time highs. I have a fib level at 595 and a fib level, which is a critical level at 595, 597 and 595, excuse me. So as usual, those are our support levels. And as long as above, I would favor more upside. All right, 598.5 clears, we're likely heading up to 600 or higher, to new all-time highs. Okay, here on Uncle Charters channel, we don't do predictions. We just cover the bull case scenario and the bear case scenario so that we can be prepared for either scenario. Okay, we are looking to react. We trade in the presence. All right, we're no crystal balls here. So like I said, if we break down 597 and 595, you guys remember how I explained on the 15-minute chart? We break down on 15-minute chart, or we like this, for example. When we cleared 593, you guys see how we cleared 593 on the 15-minute chart, led to more upside. Does that make sense? This was not one of my trade ideas. I'm just showing you guys an example on how to use the 15-minute chart. So same situation on here. Okay, we break down 597. Let me go to daily. Break down 597, 595 on the 15-minute chart. That's a good sign. Like, hey, we're likely heading down lower for a nice little pullback. Okay, but if we don't, and the market ends up clearing 598.5 and the market ends up clearing 600, don't argue with the price action, because if the price action give us bullish setups, then we enter calls. If the price action give us bearish setups, then we enter puts. We try to keep it simple here, okay? And that's why I give you guys the levels, so you guys know what to reference, what pivot levels to reference, so you know when to enter and you know when to get the heck out, okay? So if we're above 597 and we clear 598.5 and 600, you want to look to long with next resistance at 602 and 604. So remember my level to level style approach. Okay, so if you look at Tesla, for example, you go back to the 15-minute chart, you notice how it cleared this level right here at what was that, my 350 level, and then it went to go hit the next level at 355. I put them in my 15-minute chart, so that way I know when I enter and when I get out. So if you enter on a breakout 350 and your next target was 355, that's where you want to take most profits. And if you're looking to swing, you want to leave runners. What are runners? You just leave a few stocks, few shares, so you have some skin in the game. So if you bought like 100 shares, usually for runners, I would leave like 10 to 12 as for runners, but I'll take profit on the rest. Okay, if you bought only 10 shares, then you would leave like 2 to 3 shares, for runners, and you take profit on 7 to 8 shares, and you leave the runners in case the market continues to go in your direction. Like in this example, if you were to long any of these breakouts, take most of your profits at the top here, which would be one of your targets, leave a runner. Now your runner would probably be up right now for a swing trade. Okay, and if your runner was not up and it go down, well, guess what? Your runners may be red, but you're overall green still, because you took most profits on this move up right here. Does that make sense, guys? I'm trying to empower you guys. I want to give you guys trade ideas, but I also want to tell you guys how to use the trade ideas, how to use the levels. Holy moly, let me go to the daily chart. Daily chart, all right? But yeah, we'll talk about Tesla in a little bit. Are we on the same page as far as SPY goes? Are we understanding SPY here, guys? Above 597, 595, it's overall bullish, because that was the last breakout we had. Breaking back down 595, though, would be a false breakout, invalidating last Friday's breakout. So if we want to try to call a top or a lower high, or try to get bearish, that's the level that you want to see break down, 595, to give us that deeper pullback. And we need to start with breakdown 597, but breakdown 595 would be a good one for the bears. But yeah, above 595, 597, overall bullish. Triple Q, try to go for the bounce. It cleared that 550.5 level. Now we're gapping up here. Okay, you guys see on the daily chart right there? Cleared it. So, and right now I have a fib level at 508. So that is current support. Okay, if above it, 510 and 512 are in play. Okay, if below it, we could possibly drop back down to 505 to the 506 zone for the gap fill. And below 505 is when I would switch back to bearish, because it would give us a false breakout setup. Okay, tops usually get put in when we get false breakouts. So that's why I don't want to get bearish unless we break down 550, because that was the last critical fib level that we cleared on the daily chart. All right, so below 508 and 550, 505.5. Why I say 550? Below 508 and 505.5 is when I would get bearish. Okay, above 508, stay bullish with 510 and 512, 513.5 and 515 in play. Tesla with the beautiful bounce. Why do I got the arrow out? Well, right now, guys, I have a fib level at 358.6. Okay, right here. We're above that right now. So, you know, that's going to be support as long as above 358.6. Next resistance at 360 and 361.5. 361.5 was last Friday's pivot high. So we can clear 360 and 361.5. We can head up a lot higher. I don't have nothing until 370. That's the next fib level, around 370. Okay, can't get bearish unless we break down 358.6 and 357, and I'll definitely look to show if those levels fail with 355, 353, 350, 348 as targets. Level to level style. NVDA. Now, I spoke to you guys about that potential M pattern. You know, I love M patterns, but then we ended up getting like, you know, it looked like a higher low. I mean, still an M pattern, but it's not the perfect M pattern. Like, I thought this M pattern would have sent NVDA all the way back down to like 132-ish. But it looks like I'm wrong. But am I, though? Because look at the recent price action, okay? This could be an M pattern here, but this could be an even bigger M pattern. So an M pattern within an M pattern. And I know some people like M patterns and M pattern. Like, hey, the market does what it does. It's M patterns and M patterns, patterns and patterns, structures and structures. You know, it's like geometry. I don't know what it's called. I'm not a math guy, but that's how it is. So we got an M pattern and a potential bigger M pattern. This pivot high is probably all the way up here. This is what makes it look funny, because, you know, when you study these things, you're going to look at the perfect examples they give you in the textbook. But when you're in trading in real life, you're not always going to get the perfect example. You got to look at the context. You got to look at the context. So you got this big move up. You got this pivot low right here. I mean, is it a perfect potential M pattern? No. But the idea or the movement of the price action, because I'm a price action guy first and foremost, but the idea or the price action movement, you know, or the psychology of it, whatever you want to call it, it's similar. Okay, because you got this big move up, then you got this move down for the higher low, then you got this big move up, getting selling pressure around the same area, similar area, you know, and now we're pushing down. If this is the case, yo, that 132 level could definitely be a possibility, but we don't want to jump the gun now, do we? We have to take it one level at a time. From here, supports at 142 and 140. All right, and then you got this potential M pattern low. It's a potential because I don't know for sure yet. I'm just watching to see how it plays out. But the pivot low right here is 137. You know, so traditional M patterns, you want to trade that pivot low that comes in the middle. That usually validates the setup. So if this is what I think it is, that 142, 140, and 137 level definitely needs to fail. And if it does, it'll confirm what I'm saying, that of this bearishness, okay? That's the bear case scenario. Bull case scenario is we stay above 142 and we clear 144. We broke down 144 last week, so we're going to need a false breakdown setup. False breakdown setups usually put in bottoms, usually. So I'm all about playing and trading with the probability, trading with the traps, all that happy stuff. So I can't go long unless we recapture 144 and 146, and especially 147.3. Had some strong selling pressure from there last week. So we recapture those levels. I'm a little more confident that we can break out 149 finally. Okay, because we've been intraday, we got above it a few times, but we never cleared it on the daily chart. And I think if we test it again, bulls will have a little bit more strength to do so, to break through. Okay, but it'll start with getting above 142 and clearing 144, 146, and 147.3. Okay, IWM continues with the bounce, almost a V-shaped recovery right here. And about where it's gapping up, that's pretty much is a V-shaped recovery. And if we clear 241, yeah, we're gonna head up higher. 243, 244.6, 246, and 248 plus would all be targets. I can't get bearish unless we break down support levels. Okay, what was the pivot high on Friday? 239. So that would be first support. 239 must fail to put 236, 234, and 232 all back in play. Apple still did not break above the 230 level on the daily chart. It is trying to gap above now. I'll take it a little more serious if we can break it out, but gotta be careful with those gap up. Look how weak it looks. Look how weak it looks. So it's just melting up. I'm not seeing much strength. It looked like a bear flag. So it needs, this stock must stay above 230, show some strength, clear 232, 234, and 236, and then I'll feel a lot more bullish. But overall, though, I'm going to give the bulls the benefit of the doubt above 230 and lowest 228.4. But if we happen to break down those levels based on this context with this bearish looking flag here, the breakdown could be nasty. I'm talking like elevator down type of stuff. And if that is the case, y'all need to be ready. Breakdown of 230 and 228.4 will trigger puts, and it could be the elevator down that bears are looking for. Okay, but don't jump the gun. Look to react. Okay, the market loves to telegraph its movement. Okay, if you ever fight somebody before, and when your opponent telegraphs their movement, it's a lot easier to deflect, to parry, to dodge. The market tends to do that. But you guys got to know the levels and know the setup so you can trade it unbiasedly. Okay? 230 and 228.4 are those levels. If we get that drop, those levels must fail. If it does not happen, don't get mad. Just trade with the price action. If we clear 232, guess what? 234, 236 plus are in play. Get in, get out, level to level. Apple, unlike Amazon is Amazon. Unlike Apple, Amazon looking bearish to me. With these breakdowns after breakdowns here. As long I'm overall bear bias below 199, and if we can clear break down 197, I think we could head back down to 195 or lower down to 192 this time. There is a nice gap all the way down around 190ish. Okay, I'm not trusting the bounce unless we can recapture 199 and 201. And then I would favor 203, 204.7, 206, and 207.3 all back in play with the big gap around 211.5. Which gap will get filled first? We must let the price action answer for us, and our job is to follow it. Meta pulling back as well. I'm overall bears below 562. So no longs unless 562 and 564 clears. And if it is bullish with the volatility that this stock be having, it can break out, give us a beautiful move. Possibly up to 570 or higher. Might even try to back test the 50 and the 20. They're starting to kiss each other over here, which is around the 573 area. All right. But to do that, it must clear 562 and 564. Otherwise, below 562, breakdown of 560 and 558 would surely send us a lot lower, down to 554 or lower. Okay, it would be a beautiful move to the downside. Microsoft still trying to bounce off that supply zone. No, not supply zone. Demand zone, which was around 410.5. See, guys, I'm casing the Mondays. I'm getting all my words mixed up. If you guys can, comment below. Bah! Wake Uncle up, guys. It's gapping up from last Friday's close. Fib level resistance at 418.7 with 420 above. Okay, we can finally clear that level. 418.7 has been trying the last week, has been failing. But if it does today, that will be bullish. Okay, I'm not trusting no bottom unless 418.7 and the icing on the cake of clearing 420 happens. That would trigger calls. Otherwise, it will reject again and break down 417, 415. We're likely heading back down to 410.5. 412 first, and then 410.5. And below 410.5, bears in full control. DXY got its first pullback in a few days. That's nice to see. DXY and SPY tends to inverse each other. It doesn't always happen. DXY is the dollar. That's why people be like, the stock market is great, but it doesn't always reflect the economy. Does that make sense, guys? But that's another subject for another video. But DXY did pull back a little bit. I do have support still at 107. It's flirting with that right now. If it can break it down, 106.3 and 105.6 would be targets. But it got to give us that daily chart close below 107 to give me a sign that it wants to head down lower. Okay, if it's going to bounce, 108 is the next resistant level, and if it clears, we can head on up to 109 or higher. Okay, bullish above 108. Okay, for more upside, that is. Okay, break down 107, we're likely heading lower. Coin, I love this stock. Even when it's like a choppy day, it's still tradable. I love it. Volatility, baby. Next resistant right now is at 311.7. If that clears, we're likely heading back up to 313 and 315 plus. All right, but need to clear 311.7 to put 313 and 315 plus in play. Overall, bearish below 311.7, and if we break down 310, 308, 306, 304.5, and 303 will all be back in play. Possibly even go down to 300. All right. DOGE, I love DOGE. Had this beautiful move. He broke out the triangle pattern. It was around 40 cents. Did you guys look to long around 40 cents? Maybe move up the stops on your longs if you guys bought earlier. It's looking good. It's looking good. As of right now, support's at 42 cents and 40 cents. I'm overall bullish above 40 cents, okay? And as long as above 40 cents, we could definitely go up higher. But the next thing that the bulls need to do right now is hold 42 cents as support and clear 44 cents. And clear 44 cents would put 48 in the big 50 cents in play. I hope we go hit 50 cents, okay? But if it doesn't and we break down 42 and 40 cents, cut loss. Hopefully you guys aren't in loss. Hopefully you guys were secure something and you're just holding runners right now. But yeah, break down 42 cents, 40 cents, then maybe we get a pullback down to 38 and 34 cents. But right now it's not looking too bad. All right, Bitcoin not looking too bad either. It's consolidating. It's trying to go for that 100K, guys. Trying to go for that 100K. I have a critical fib level support at 95.7K. Okay, as long as above, we're still overall bullish. And clearing 98.6K can definitely send us to 100K and 102K. All right, can't get bearish unless 95.6 and 93.3K fails as support. All right, and that's my video for the morning, guys. Thank you guys so much for being here. Good luck today. Let's kick these market makers' ass. Bye.